myself Niyatin Chauhan, Assistant Professor at LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology, Department of Instrumentation and Control. Our subject is Safety Instrumented System. Unit 7, Using a Technology. So let's start today's session. In last lecture, we have discussed about microprocessor and PLC based system. And in today's session, we will discuss issue related to the system size. Most relay systems were small and distributed around the plant. Each process unit or piece of equipment typically had its own dedicated shutdown system. Just as computerized control system in most plants becomes centralized, the shutdown system also becomes more centralized. A small relay panel is relatively easy to manage and maintain. The same can't say of 500 input-output relay system. Hardwired systems were frequently replaced to be physically smaller, easier to manage software-based system. Okay. Thereafter, communication with other systems. Most plants now have some form of centralized control system with graphical operator display. Rather than having a separate set of display for the safety instrumented system, there are benefits in having the SIS information available for display at the maintained control system console. For example, lower cost, less space, learning only one system. Okay. Thereafter, this usually requires some form of serial communication link between the system. Most computerized systems offer some form of serial communication. So here we have discussed how to communicate our system with other system, right? If we are using PLC of A company, right, and we are using DCS with B company. So how to communicate PLC and DCS in our system? It's relatively easy to have the process control system read or call the SIS and display information such as the state of all the input-output bypasses, alarm, etc. It's just as easy to have the process control system right to the SIS. And herein lies the potential danger. Many control and safety systems are supplied from different manufacturers. In order for them to be able to communicate with each other, they must utilize a common communication protocol. One common protocol is Modbus. A limitation of Modbus is that it does not utilize or recognize alphanumeric paired length. All variables must instead be referred by number that are associated with memory address location. Image a control and safety system communicating via Modbus. What might happen if changes are made to the database in the safety system? Okay. If variables are inserted in the middle of a list rather than added at end of a list. All of the remaining address will change. The control system will have no indication of the change and may end up communication with all of the wrong variables as a result. This could naturally lead to serious problems. Okay, means here we are discussing about we have to use proper communication with our system. More recent and advanced communication methods such as object linking and embedding for process control should alleviate some of these problems. The primary consideration is that the control system must not be allowed to corrupt the memory of the SIS. This requires some form of control. Safety field buses, which are used to communicate between or within safety system, are discussed in chapter 9. Okay, so we will discuss in detail in chapter 9. Then after certified versus prior use. There are many vendors competing for business in every market, including safety. Products are often very diverse in design. Considering the complexity associated with play of the software-based logic system, along with the conflicting stories told by many of the vendors, users faced a dilemma. So here our chapter 7 is completed, right? Next we will start unit 8, initial system evaluation. Okay, so let's see. First we will discuss things are not as obvious they may seem, right? Means here things are not easy as we are thinking. If it were intuitively obvious which system was most appropriate for a particular application, then there would be a need for this book or any of the design standards. So in first chapter we have discussed this topic. Things are not as obvious they may seem. Okay. So here for requirement of safety in our industry, and that's why author has written this book. The problem is that things are not as intuitively obvious as they may seem. Dual is not always better than simplex, and triple is not always better than dual. Okay, so here we are using two systems, right? Then complexity will be increased, and instead of 2 we will use 3. Thereafter also complexity will be increased. Consider the 9 choices presented in table 8.1. Okay, so in next slide we will see table 8.1. Let's assume at this point that 9 different calls shown in the table have software-based logic system, programmable electronic system, PES. So here you can see 9 things are available. So in this chart we are using which type of sensors we are using: single, dual, triple, then PES logic, then diagnostic coverage, then common cause, output, and test interval, right? We are testing this device in monthly, quarterly, yearly. Okay, to discuss about it. First, remember that safety instrumented system can fail two ways. First, They may suffer nuisance trip and shut down plant when nothing is actually wrong. They may also fail to function when actually required. Dual redundant device can be configured at least two ways. One out of two voting would cause trip if one sensor were to go into alarm. So here, one out of two. Okay. So one we are using for our actual process and another we are using for alarm. Then 2 out of 2. So 2 out of 2 voting would only trip if both sensors were to go into alarm. Okay. So we are using 2 out of 2. Then after, if both sensors connect with alarm system, then after our system will be tripped. Common cause means a single stressor or fault which impact on entire redundant system. Typical examples are external environmental stress to the system such as heat, vibration, overvoltage, etc. One method of qualifying common cause is referred to as beta factor. This represents the percentage of failure identified in one lab or slice of the system that might impact multiple channels at once. Then after next, various standard group made for years trying to resolve this issue. If all of these were easy, the group would have been done a long time. Consider the ISA SP84 committee alone. Okay, so we have discussed in first second chapter about different committees and different standards. There were over 300 members on the committee, mailing list representing about every interest group imaginable. For example, solid state PLC, safety PLC, and DCS vendors and users, contractors, integrators, consultants, and certification agency, etc. So here we have discussed about how many members in committee and how to communicate for communication system. If you have any question in this session, then you can ask me. Thank you for watching video.